Mitt Romney made the claim that simply because we have fewer total ships in our Navy than we did back in 1916, clearly it's weaker.
Right.
And a strong Romney administration will increase the total number of ships regardless of what the Navy actually wants or needs. But thankfully, the monkey cage, specifically two men at the monkey cage, this is Crisher and Mark Souva, did a data set. They'd actually previously done it this year. I don't know why they decided to do that, but it charts total distribution of naval power going back to 1870 across the world. And so they figured out, can we actually put up that chart really fast? So you can see it there. You have 1916 marked out, thankfully.
So we had about 11% of naval power in 1916 in the world.
Yes, exactly. 11%. I don't know how they came to that, but 11%. In 2010, the most recent year that they have data for, we have 50% of world naval power.
Well, you can see how we need more ships.
Yeah, well, that's 2000. That's 2010.
Who knows what's happened?
Yeah.
Do we have a Navy anymore?
Well, a couple of dinghies.
Inflatable boats.
Yeah. No, look, the reason they did that is Mitt Romney's been saying this for a long time. He's got this ridiculous talking point about, oh my God, our Navy, we don't have enough ships. We had more ships in 1916. And I've been saying it for just as long that that's the dumbest talking point I've ever heard. Now, it turns out, here's an interesting twist to this story. Although it's obviously and ridiculously wrong as a concept, given how much of the percentage of naval power we have in the world at this point, there are a couple of real reasons to say it. Number one, there are huge shipbuilding factories in, I don't know if they build ships in factories, but okay, docks.
Docks, probably,
okay.
Shipyards.
Shipyards?
They're shipyards.
Right, but
Okay.
in Virginia, and Virginia is an important swing state, and in fact, he's running ads, this stupid 1916 Navy ad, even though he got his ass handed to him by Obama in the debate on that, and he looked like a fool, he's still running that ad in Virginia, because that's his way of saying to the people who work on ships in Virginia, hey, don't worry, I'll build more needless ships, and you'll continue to have your job. Okay, so that's part of the rational reason for saying it, and then of course there's the crooked reason for saying it. And so it turns out that one of his top political advisors is a former Secretary of the Navy. That's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, under Ronald Reagan, and happens to make a lot of money in the shipbuilding business.
Yeah.
What a wild coincidence. Just a coinky-dink, golly gee, I couldn't have seen that coming. And when asked about it, his name is Lehman, right?
Yes.
John
Lehman.
John Lehman says,
No, I remember John Lehman.
yeah, he says, oh, that's amusing. Me make money off of ships. I mean, on one project alone, he made $180 million. Okay. Now, he lost money on another project, et cetera. The whole scheme of how he makes money.
$179 million?
No, he did not.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing is complicated. He wound up at least $100 million on all that. And, you know, he's got connections to that industry. He would make more money if they built more ships. And I'm sure he's not the only one. I'm sure a lot of Mitt Romney's donors also make money off of shipbuilding, defense contractors, et cetera. And that's why we have the gigantic military that we do. Not because we need 50% of the naval power of the world. It's because those guys grease the politicians and the politicians pay them back by building things we don't need.
Well, it's a good thing that we do, though, because what if every other country in the world decided to oppose us in international waters? We can just barely match them.
But the flip side to that is, if Mitt Romney's president, there is some chance we will have a war with the rest of the world.